let us go ahead and refocus here with some Omega level news here. I guess we'll have us another two-parter this week. So, sticking with the MCU, which we just talked a lot about, of course, The Eternals is a MCU movie that's coming out this year, and we got a trailer that revealed the answer to the biggest question out there as far as the Eternals go, because they're supposed to protect and care for humans, yet they did nothing against Thanos. So they explain in this trailer, which is funny, I think how it's reacting to people asking that question, that they're not allowed to interfere unless it has something to do with the deviants. So they answer to the Celestial, and the Celestial says you cannot help or interfere with the humans unless it is something to do with deviants.
Yeah, it's basically you can't interfere with human conflict.
So,
A rating issue.
yeah. So I try to be like Jay and enjoy things as they unfold, even if it's not exactly like the comics. Of course, I'm a big X-Men fan. It's probably why I enjoy the Avengers stuff, because I don't know every nook and cranny of Avengers, so some of the stuff that they changed, it just doesn't bother me. And I generally try to be open to changes that they make because they are a different universe, but there are just some things that they do that don't make sense. So here's something that potentially could be going that way, although there could be more information that it makes all sense. But anyway, so they're not able to do anything unless the deviants are involved, and so we see them fighting these monsters that are attacking the humans, and I kind of get the impression that those are the deviants they're talking about. Now, those could be like minions of the deviants. But okay, here's the problem. In the comics, Thanos is a deviant. So this suggests that in the MCU, Thanos is not a deviant. I don't understand why they would make that change. I really don't. So that's the biggest thing that I've derived from this trailer, is that whole deviant thing, and I think this is a proclamation that, okay, Thanos is not a deviant, he's just a Titan.
I don't know. Because they throw his name out there clearly, and it could be, because if they know who he was before the snap, like, it could be just a Marvel spin about, how they do it.
Yeah. Well, and so the other juicy piece of information that we get from this trailer is that when the Earthlings brought everyone back from the snap, that provided the necessary energy for something called the emergence. That's got me thinking that that's maybe how they bring mutants into the MCU, which would be different than the comics. I don't know for sure. But that's the other juicy part of that trailer, is that this emergence is happening, and it's because of what them bringing back all this life back to Earth and the universe. It could also be the start. Emergence could also be the start of like the Secret Wars too. We'll see.
That's that was a celestial that we see in the trailer too, isn't it?
Yes, that is a celestial that we see. Yep. I can't remember the specific name. They all have names. Let me ask you, because so they're not going to release any more movies alongside releasing it in Disney Plus. It's no longer going to be theatrical Disney Plus release. They're going fully back to the theaters with Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness, Eternals. Is that kind of throwing shade at? Isn't that kind of throwing shade at Black Widow? Like, I kind of understand why she's a bit bitter. Like, and I even seen like an advertisement today. I think when I was watching this trailer, it even kind of announces like, "Oh, the MCU, starts again" or something like that. So I don't know. Totally, like, that movie just overall got thrown in the grinder.
Kind of, and that's why a lot of people are pissed off, and that also is being blown out of proportion. But the whole Shang-Chi shit, where the CEO was like, "We're doing with it, we're experimenting with a 45-day window," and the actor came out and was like, "We're not no fucking experiment. We're going hard on this film."
Right.
So they basically what they're doing is they're trying to bring all this attention that after 45 days, it will be on Disney Plus if it's not rated R. But for the first 45 days, you have to see it in theaters, which I agree with you is kind of a kick in the dick when it comes to Black Widow and how they treated it.
I was gonna say because I'm not fully, into that story or whatnot. I've just heard you guys talk about it or whatever. Is it throwing shade, or is it that they learned their lesson to
Yeah.
not do shit like that?
Yeah.
Well, and that's a good point. And this, I remember one of Jay's big mentionings like, why didn't they work with her to rebuild her contract? Well, like 2 days after that show, it came out that they called Disney to try to rebuild, and Disney wouldn't take their calls and avoided like discussing it with them. So I mean, it could be shade, it could be both, it could, be salty as fuck, but either way, they're getting sued and they have to learn something.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be Disney saying, "Look, we got Disney money. We'll replace you, bitch."
Yeah, right.
Well, they could be. They will flex.
Right.
Our
Activate
next,
the Black Widow program 2022.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Our next story, got this on GameSpot.com. Dominique Thorne is going to debut as Ironheart in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
You went straight up like, bro, Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah, you
Right.
got fresh with that one.
Right.
But we knew she was getting a
Got
Disney
the
Plus
Wakanda
series.
in his blood now.
That's right.
Oh.
Beyond Bay. That's right. I love that part. I love that part of Endgame when he's walking out and they just, what's going on. He starts Beyond Bay. You know it.
All right.
Right.
Dora Milaje is gonna fuck shit up. But yeah, so Riri Williams, who's going to be played by Dominique Thorne, of course, replacing Iron Man as Ironheart. We knew she was going to get her Disney Plus series, but she's actually going to be in Wakanda Forever.
I wonder if she's going to be semi-Wakandan like built. Because remember they were Shuri was working with wow, brain fart.
Bruce Banner?
Visions
Right.
with the stone in his memory. So she might have, because she became Tony's kind of protege in America, she maybe could have backed up his information, and maybe that's how the suit's made. Because in the comics, remember, Tony is the AI system.
Right. Yep.
So, like, I think it's going to come in that Wakanda has something like hands-on in creating this new Iron Man.
That'd be cool.
I was wondering how this.
Fucking sweet.
Sorry. I was wondering how this Black Panther sequel is going to be because I was watching something, and you guys know better than me again. Obviously, they said something along the lines of they're not going to replace the main actor. So the movie's more or less just going to kind of be based like around him, but focus on the other like Wakandan characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's being rewritten like the third or fourth time after all this.
No doubt.
It could work. Quick,
I was going to say the What If episode we were just talking about is actually Chadwick's last, like anything with the MCU. It's his last act, basically.
Yeah, that was super bittersweet for sure. Our next story here on CBR.com. We've been talking about this a little bit, but it's official. So yeah, I'm not even going to spend that much time on it because I could, and we don't even need to go there. It just is what it fucking is, Jonathan.
We're going to have a fucking show after this ends. We have to have a show tying this all together because we've talked about this shit. Oh my god, I can't. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Jonathan Hickman is leaving X-Men with Inferno's conclusion. So that's an event that's basically starting pretty soon. X-Men showrunner Jonathan Hickman is departing the fan favorite franchise after Inferno, though this doesn't mark the end of his tenure at Marvel. While Inferno marks the end of Hickman's time as showrunner of the franchise, according to Entertainment Weekly, Hickman is already working on his next big Marvel thing, which should make its debut sometime next year alongside with the weekly X-Men series.
I'm afraid to see what he's taking over.
I just, and this could just be the X-Men fanboy in me, but I'm just like, next big Marvel thing? Are you fucking serious, dude? Like, you understand the X-Men kept Marvel afloat through the 90s, 2000. That right there is the largest, most, abundant selling comic book that ever has been. So there's nothing bigger than X-Men comic books. And it is what it is. I mean, you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. This just wasn't what we expected with the House and Powers of 10 and this whole new world that Hickman was
at
building.
The contract, he was supposed to be like the head honcho, like the Feige of the X-Men. Like, it went, what, 2 years?
Yep.
Oh my God, it's so shitty. Yeah.
Thank God Jerry Dugan's seeming to do a pretty good job, so I won't, I don't know. Looks like we'll recover here, but that's just.
Oh, did you see this?
What a flake.
Did you read that on superherohype.com he actually acknowledged what's going on? Did you read that interview?
I didn't. Can you?
So it said Hickman reflected on his X-Men tenure during a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly. Specifically, he explained how the ongoing saga has wildly exceeded his expectations. Let's just.
Yeah.
Oh, plans have changed entirely. When I pitched the X-Men story I wanted to do, I pitched a big, broad 3-act, 3-event narrative. The first of which was House of 10, and while the loosely worked as a 3-year plan, I told Marvel upfront that I honestly had no idea how long the first part would last because there was a lot of interesting ideas that I had seeded that the other creators wanted to play with, and so we left that rather open-ended. I was also pretty clear with all the writers that came into the office that the initial 3-act plan was so no one would be surprised when it came for the line to pivot. Let's see. So after Inferno, I'll be leaving to go work on my next big Marvel thing. And starting in January, the X line will rocket forward, starting with a weekly series that leads into a very cool refocused line of books. So they're changing the books again, D.
Yeah.
And then it says, yes, it's taken us a little while to get everything assembled correctly, but the end result, everything that's coming after Inferno is going to be pretty great. Inferno #1 hits September 29th.
Yay.
So to me, it says he pitched an idea and then things changed and he wants to leave that idea. That's what it sounds like to me.
But like I can just tell this is where y'all lost Jay and I.
Yeah. So let's talk about stuff that you guys actually,
Oh, I'm just messing with you.
No, I want to move along. I'm
we
good.
Could go
I don't want to think about this
or,
anymore. Yeah, and I don't want to think about it anymore. So no, you're right. Let's do this. I actually want to talk about this last week, but things happen. So Anime News Network says that, and I'm gonna Shinsuke Sato to direct a Hollywood live-action My Hero Academia film. It's out of my wheelhouse, but I think everyone else here on the panel is hip to the My Hero Academia. This guy made the Bleach, live action Bleach. So, and I don't know what kind of quality that is. Now, this is specifically saying Hollywood live action. So
yes, this is why it's big and potentially scary. So Bleach was actually decent. I recommend it. They never did a sequel.
I agree.
For Japanese low budget creation, it was pretty fucking spot on for an anime interpretation, not like Attack on Titan, which people hate.
Death Note, which was terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, how the fuck do you fuck that up with William Dafoe?
Terrible.
Like, that is perfect. But yeah, so he has done all these adaptation of different anime into live action films, and none of them are really hated. So he's being hired to do a big budget Hollywood Americanized My Hero, but he is in charge. So he is bringing all that knowledge of, translating the anime into a film, and he's in charge of it, which let's see what happened when they did it with Dragon Ball. It was some stupid American actor that they thought they wanted to make Piccolo like a freaking
Hey,
walking.
Jimmy from Shameless, okay, is okay. He was terrible in Dragon Ball. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm trying to defend him for.
But so it can go either very bad or very good. If it goes very good, I think this is going to be a start of them actually giving creative rights to people that know what the fuck they're talking about and doing good Americanized content.
Dragon Ball Evolution was in its own category of terrible because remember we talked about this. The person who directed that movie had never even seen Dragon Ball or read a single page of a manga. Who thought this dude was qualified to direct this movie? But somebody.
That was one of those times. That was one of those times where all the dudes in the boardroom got some pure Colombian cocaine and was just zooted up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hire somebody that who's never even seen the show before. It's gonna make it authentic.
Reminds me of the TikTok guy that goes, "Give me ideas." Okay, what does he do? And he just throws this pitch together with the random fucking shit. But you know what's funny is we might see that movie on fucking Disney Plus one day because Disney owns Fox. Fox is the one that created that fucking piece of shit.
Like,
no, it'll just be on Disney Plus. We ain't watching shit. Okay?
Yeah, it'll just sit there.
There we go, Omega level watch party.
I was literally just gonna say we can fuck around and do a watch party and just shit on that movie.
Piccolo's like white in that movie, right?
No, he's green, but
off
like
green.
It's
green.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Played by what was it, Spike from Buffy?
Yes.
Yeah. And he also played Brainiac on Smallville.
At that time it started and then it just refreshed and you were
right.
back on.
I think we're back. We're good.
I'm not on mine. Oh yeah, we kind of are on mine.
After the time will begin.
Riding the buffer wave. All right.
How you know that we're not a professional broadcast?
There you go. Despite my big internet mill.
Nah,
no, but
is D back?
Are we back? We good? We hear me?
Is D back?
I can hear you all. D's back.
I can hear all of you.
I can't hear D.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can hear all of you. Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear D. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I'm the one that gets left out whenever this happens.
Oh no. Well, let's
You didn't turn your switch off like my dumb ass did that one day, did you?
Oh, I've touched nothing. Here, I'll leave and come back. How about that?
I'll touch nothing. So yeah, I guess while we wait for him to come back though, so this is gonna be like big budget Hollywood movie there, Volsker? Like,
yeah, it's guy who's doing it with Universal or Sony or somebody. Like it's going to be top dollar film. Let's see how that works.
Who would you want to play? I only know the one character, All Might. Who would you guys want to play All Might?
Oh God.
All Might. It would definitely have to be somebody with some personality. That's for damn sure.
Like what kind of personality does he have?
Honestly, I almost sound The Rock.
The Rock. I swear to God, I was going to say the same thing. That's exactly what I was going to say. because All Might.
You have to be cheesy as shit, but also have like that. They can't be having some dude that's like fucking beep.
What about John
Right.
Cena?
No.
No.
Matter of fact, I don't want a fucking wrestler. Okay, don't mess up one of my biggest anime fucking archetypes. All right.
No.
Please don't ruin my nigga. Please.
Who do you think, Jay?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but like,
Gotta be careful before you get Michael. Michael Cera as Deku?
Oh, that would be terrible. The fucked up thing, it would slightly make sense.
It would make sense.
It would slightly make sense, but please don't.
Yeah, please don't. I don't know. I don't have a suggestion. I'm just a little sick of the WWE to fucking up my superhero movies timeline. Okay.
But like I said, the Rock was the only person I could think of off top because you're gonna need somebody who's big and has that energy.
Yeah, that's the only issues.
I haven't seen Free Guy yet, but they can CGI it.
Yeah.
Free Guy is fucking hilarious, by the way.
I meant to ask you because I saw you saw it. I meant to ask you how that was because
great.
Yeah, I do want to see that. My oldest daughter wants to see it too.
Oh, she wants to see what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. That's what she wants to see.
Well, whatever.
God, I'm sad.
Yeah, I couldn't think about that too much myself.
Right. I got 2 daughters. I'm not trying to think of any of that. But anyway, it's inevitable, I suppose. But no, I ain't ready.
Yeah.
Damn inevitable.
Right. And then he got his head.
What did you like about the movie? Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Yeah.
Don't tell me that. That's what I'd say.
Like I said in the message board. After watching Endgame, I got a new respect there for Scarlet Witch.
Elizabeth Olsen.
just a little bit.
Lines in that film.
The eldest Olsen twin, or not twin, I guess, but the eldest Olsen sister.
She's the youngest.
Oh, is she the youngest? Okay.
Yeah, she's the little one.
There you go.
She's the broke one.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't. Well, hey, look what they do.
Can't broke now.
I was gonna say. I was just about to say, not anymore.
You take your clothesline, sisters. I'm a movie star.
Right.
I mean, she's a movie star and she's got millions, but they got billions, so that's a big difference.
Yeah, and the billions in coke, they sniff it away.
But to say, yeah, they also
like...
look like Gollum, so I'll take that trade.
Can you spare me a sandwich, young traveler?
Oh my god. That saying, like every time you say that Halo, it's the number one thing is like, you took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. You will.
Right.
I will fight you with this double sword that doesn't make sense.
Right.
He can spin it on his finger.
Oh, he could spin the fuck out of that thing. But the way the blades were oriented, there's this guy. It's called Shadiversary. I watch him all the time. He's like a weapons expert, and he like debunks stuff and does like replicas of stuff. And see, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And that was one of them. Like, it makes no sense how those swords are situated. But he could spin the shit out of it. Oh, you're right. It like fire beams at him. He's all right. Well, we've had a rough stream here, guys. So let's take this train wreck and get it to the track here. We're just one last story here. It's a bit of an older story, but again, I wanted to save it for you, my anime guys. So, Crunchyroll and Funimation they've become one. They have fused. Like Vegeta and Goku become
big
Vegito.
Ass fucking company.
There you go. Fusion dance. But this one will last more. Will last more than a half hour.
Oh my god! Actually, if you look at the stream, Halo, me and you are opposite.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, now we got to give him a name.
Yeah.
Volrama.
Fun Crunch.
Romsker.
Volrama.
Mation Crunch. Crunchmation.
Because I almost went to real names.
Well,
For some
look.
reason, I almost said
Halo Drama's
Talon.
black. Halo Drama's black. Volsker's white, so it's The Rock.
Yes, there you go.
The Rock Obama.
Let's see, Volsker Halo. Yeah.
This is one of the best skits he ever did on fucking Saturday Night Live.
Oh man.
Volsk drama. Halo Skr. Halo Skr.
Yeah, that's scary.
Halo Skr. So does this mean that if you subscribe to Funimation, you now have everything between Funimation and Crunchyroll, and vice versa? What is this?
Not yet. So there's a couple oddball things going on here. First of all, Crunchyroll is primarily all subs. They started diving into some dubs about a year or so ago. They've very, very small crew. They actually contract out like the overseas like Dragon Ball Z films and stuff before Funimation did it.
Yeah.
But they also created something called VRV, which was a central hub for like $10 a month, and you get like 5 channels, which is Crunchyroll, High Dive, Rooster Teeth, and a couple other things. So Funimation and Crunchyroll kind of had a partnership over the last couple years where they would share each other's content. You give us some of the dubs, and we'll give you some of the subs type shit. Well, what's even weirder about this is they both have their own subscription base. You have Crunchyroll, VRV, and Funimation. And who owns Funimation? Sony. So now Sony owns both of these companies. What's going so there we have way too many fucking moving parts right now that people have been asking for clarification and they're not quite sure. Both apps suck ass, to be honest with you. They crash shit all the time. So if anything, they need to get some of that Sony money and,
upgrade
fix it. But it's going to be a huge fucking library of shit.
They need to go find the Ocean Group, because personal opinion only, I love the Ocean Group's voices in Dragon Ball over Funimation. I always have.
And Gundam's done by Sunrise, right? So that wouldn't be included in any of that.
No, they are the what am I thinking? There's a shit ton of Gundam on Crunchyroll, but it's all dubbed or subbed. There's barely any. But don't forget, Netflix is doing a live action Gundam movie here, I think, due next year.
Yeah, but they never do the Gundam I want to see. Like, they always do the other Gundam shows that they're cool, but I don't know. Gundam Wing's always gonna, duo yelling, "I'm the god of death," and shit like that with Death Sight.
Only anime I've seen, I've never really gotten to the big mech ones.
Oh, I love big giant robots, man.
One really good one is Evangelion.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
You gotta watch it a couple times. I mean, I listen. I love heady, deep, philosophical type of anime shit. I have probably seen that show 5 or 6 times, and I still can't tell you what the fuck's happening.
If I had one that came close, it would be Big O. And that's because that used to come on the Adult Swim all the time, and I watched the Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I watched the Adult Swim back in the day almost religiously. Yeah. So they could have showed me whatever, and I was already up till like 3 a.m. So I was like, whatever, let's watch it.
Oh yeah, used to be down in my buddy's basement watching that stuff.
Man,
you know the basement. Yep.
Yes, that's what I was like. I seen it.
I seen it.
All right.
I still remember sitting in that basement watching the first Cooler movie like it was a real live event. We had a bunch of people down there, and that shit was real. And then the soundtrack had everybody hyped.
Yes. Well, I was just telling Omega Level wife because we were driving down for our trip, and Change came on.
Hell yeah!
And I was telling her like, "Oh, this comes on right as Goku like changes into Super Saiyan and just fucks Cooler's world up.
Fucked up thing is you can't even hear that song these days without thinking of that.
Nope.
I know
not
I
at all.
can't.
He picks
That
up that
soundtrack
bird,
for that film was just
The shit, yeah.
just turns around, looks at Cooler. It's over.
Right.
It's over.
As soon as the chorus hit, we were all even in the basement like, oh!
Yeah. Good times.
Man, right. Back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, of course, Mega Level wife, she's nice and pretends like she cares about what I'm talking about. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. All right. Well, speaking of the end, let's go ahead and put in a pin in it here. Of course, you can follow me at D Square on Twitter at D Square 72. We got at Volsker, at Halo Drama. Make sure to go check out YouTube/J100. Make sure you check out what he's got going on there. Before we go, any last minute recommendations or things we want to let people know about?
That one of these days we're hopefully going to do a watch party for some Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully very, very soon, as well as I'm excited to announce that I stopped being a cheapskate. I spent the $16 to get the thing that will allow me to stream my PS3, so I'm excited because me and Halo Drama are going to be streaming some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 squabs.
It's going to go down.
But also that does open up my PS1 library that I do have some PS1. Actually, a lot of PS1s called Final Fantasies of various kinds. So I don't know. I might break some of those out. So check that out. Outside of that, then I guess for me, superheroespeak.com, where you can see my comic reviews. I think the latest one I've done, I'm not sure how far he is into publishing them, but did do a review of Blade Runner Origins. So check that as well as other.
One of the the free comic book day ones.
Was that in the? Yeah, I got it. I got it from my contacts at superheroespeak.com. But yeah, check it out. All right. Well, as always, until next time, peace and love, and we'll talk to you soon.